Today we've got excellent news for Stalker 2, and it comes from a game that was struggling with performance just like Stalker 2 is right now for the engine update next year. Grey Zone Warfare, which is now on Unreal Engine version 5.5, is running amazingly. After updating to Unreal Engine 5.5, it's seen FPS gains of 30 to 50%, in some cases even more. So today I want to show you exactly what changed, break down the before and after numbers, and explain why this is such a big deal for Stalker 2's future. To give you a fresh look at what the engine update can do and hopefully bring you back to Stalker 2 due to performance issues this year. Let's start with how things look before the Unreal Engine 5.5 using 1440p epic settings with DLSS or FSR quality. Performance in dense areas was rough. Mid-range PCs like the Ryzen 5 5600X with an RTX 3070 averaged 40 to 50 FPS, while high-end systems like a Ryzen 7 7800 X3D and RTX 4080 averaged 60 to 75 FPS. Even ultra rigs, including the i9 CPUs and top-tier GPUs, were often stuck in the 70 to 90 FPS range. On Xbox Series X, performance mode still had frequent dips below 60. This is the exact kind of performance behavior Stalker 2 players are complaining about. Playable, but inconsistent, stuttery, and immersion breaking. Now here's where things get interesting. After upgrading to Unreal Engine 5.5, the estimated averages jump dramatically. Mid-range PCs now hit 65 to 90 FPS, a 60 to 80% uplift. High-end systems push 95 to 130 FPS, a 60 to 75% gain. Ultra systems reach 115 to 160 FPS, even at 4K, and Xbox Series X holds a rock-solid 60 FPS with no dips, a 30 to 35% improvement. The more interesting data comes from the performance heat map, which shows where the most significant FPS drops occurred before the update. You can still spot some red zones after the engine update, meaning some areas remain demanding. Still, the overall picture is clearly improved, and that should continue to improve over time with further optimization. Now I want to keep this grounded and avoid overhyping things, so let's add some context. Grey Zone Warfare's main island map is roughly 42 square kilometers of playable space. In comparison, Stalker 2's open world zone is estimated at around 60 to 64 square kilometers, making it about 50% larger overall. On top of that, Grey Zone Warfare can have 100 or more AI enemies and allies active in a single combat area, while Stalker 2 typically peaks close to 60 to 90 active NPCs near the player. That difference matters. Stalker 2's AI is more spread across a living world rather than heavily clustered in a constant combat zones. Because of that, it's realistic to expect that the raw FPS gains from Unreal Engine 5.5 might be slightly smaller than we were seeing in Grey Zone Warfare. However, there's another important factor here. Grey Zone Warfare is a multiplayer PvPvE game, which means it has to deal with server synchronization, network replication, and additional CPU overhead on top of AI and rendering. Stalker 2, on the other hand, is a single-player experience without that constant networking load. So what makes these Unreal Engine 5.5 gains so impressive is that they're happening in a far more CPU-heavy multiplayer environment. And that's why this is still very promising for Stalker 2, because if UE 5.5 can deliver these kind of improvements in Grey Zone Warfare, it could translate into smoother frame times and more consistent performance in a single-player game like Stalker 2. This improvement didn't come from magic graphic downgrades. Unreal Engine 5.5 introduced parallel rendering, which massively reduces CPU bottlenecks, lower memory usage, saving roughly 400 megabytes of VRAM and 2 gigabytes of system RAM. Better thread utilization, which directly improves frame times and reduces stutter. And those three things are exactly what Stalker 2 struggles with right now. Stalker 2 is confirmed to be moving to Unreal Engine 5.5, and Grey Zone Warfare shows us what's possible when that transition is done properly. This question will come in the comment section. Will it fix every bug? You know me, I'm straight to the point. Hell no. But if Stalker 2 sees even half of these gains, it could smooth out frame times, eliminate major stutters, push many players from 40 to 50 FPS into a stable 60 to 90 range, and for you console players, you could see performance 120 FPS one day. And that's the difference between frustration and immersion. Let me know in the comments, are you waiting for the UE 5.5 before returning to Stalker 2? Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. If you missed the update on what to expect from Stalker 2 in 2026, check this out on screen next.